Hello guys, Elite Big Cameraman here. Today we will be talking about episode 13 of Skibidi Toilet Multiverse, and it was the craziest episode ever. Today we'll be talking about why Jackhammer Drill Man's drill broke, Skibidi Toilet's wide eyes, and whether or not the Skibidi Toilet analysisers are traitors. And if you could consider subscribing, it would help the channel a lot. And I also have a Discord link in the comments below. Anyways, here we go. We first start off by seeing some sort of big boulder that is going in the cave. Looks like some sort of giant boulder, but then as further we go on, we see that armor starts to fall off. Then we see that it's Jackhammer Drill Man. We see that he hit something so hard that it actually broke his armor and drill off. Then, as he puts the armor back on, this normal drill man rips his head off as if he didn't just rip it off. But regardless of whether or not this dude just ripped off his head, he fixes the drill, puts it back on his head, and we hear a lot of commotion outside, so Jackhammer Drill Man drills a hole to the surface. And goddamn, it releases a bunch of chaos, showing us the Skibidi Toilet, Titan Drill Man, cameramen, and every single thing in existence fighting, and it shows absolute chaos. As we progress, we see how he's defeating like a million toilets at once. This is because it's a warfare out here. And I just have to say, goddamn, the amount of work and editing that went into this, it must have been an absolute immense amount of work. As we're running, we see a cameraman get flattened to the ground. Then we see a Skibidi Toilet with a bat. He knocks us down. But as he's trying to suffocate us with a bat. But like, bro, who are you trying to suffocate? We're robots. We can't even be suffocated. Regardless of that, we see that he has white eyes, but as he gets shot with a spear, they fade away. This could possibly lead to me believing that either one of two things. One, he is a robot, which I will get to later in this video, and the white eyes powered him off as he was killed by a cameraman who threw the spear. Or one other thing leads me to believe that they are being mind-controlled by the scientist Skibidi Toilet. But as we see the cameraman who threw the spear, he sadly gets shot down by a Skibidi copter. As we pick up the bat, we see that there's another cameraman being shot down by an acid Skibidi, so he whacks it and he flushes the Skibidi Toilet. We jump into this weird shop building, and as we're hiding, we see a poor cameraman next to us being shot down by the gun Skibidi. Then, as we look, we see something goofy. We see how there is a necklace Skibidi Toilet up above fighting a cameraman on this weird pipe. I really do think that this was a rendering glitch made by Dom Studios, but if it even was a rendering glitch, it's okay. It was still such a great video. Then, as we see the gun Skibidi Toilet shooting, we see the goddamn majestic Titan Drill Man fighting and stomping on him. And even in battle, he looks goddamn majestic. Regardless of that, as we are seeing him fight a big Skibidi Toilet, we see a laboratory called Skibidi Base 4. Skibidi Laboratory Base 4. I really don't know if we have seen or gotten to the other 3 bases, but regardless of that, we start running towards it, and as we do, we see something that has never been seen before. We see a Skibidi Toilet riding in a truck, or if you would prefer, a military jeep. This honestly caught me by surprise. I think one of two things. This is either a Skibidi Toilet driving the truck, or it's a Skibidi truck. Because a couple minutes later, he's gone. This leads me to believe that it's either one of two things. He jumped out and we just didn't see, Or he was flushed by a cameraman that we just didn't see either, as you can see here in this frame. But as we are jumping off, we're heading towards explosions, and we see this one cameraman, he does a goofy jump, and he just belly flops onto the ground. But regardless of that, we keep running like no tomorrow. Then we see how there is a speaker man being hit to the ground by a skibidi toilet, but sadly he doesn't end well, as a helicopter skibidi toilet flies directly into him and kills him. Then we're heading on, but as the skibidi toilet's heading our way, what looks to be like a speaker man riding a forklift smashes the skibidi toilet. Heads up to that, speaker man. Then, as we think we're there, we see this giant saw skibidi toilet with a bunch of weapons ready to kill us, as if he will never see tomorrow. Then, as out of nowhere, we see white and red plungers, and his face freezes over, and then we see the goddamn majestic plunger cameraman finish him off. Then we run to the skibidi, but this time without any eruptions. We get in with a speaker man, and there's also a big speaker man in there. We see a weird core looking thing right here in the laboratory. This could just be me thinking, but I think G-Man will return in this series and also have a core as well, because unlike every other analyzer, this actually looks like a core to me. Then we see a whiteboard with 150 lines, meaning that they have tried 150 times and failed, or they have 150 days of this being done, and they have failed. One thing that really caught me off guard was the teeth. I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more skibidis with these teeth in the future. Then, as we look behind us, we see a skibidi guard toilet tasing the big skibidi as he lays on the ground. I don't think he's dead, but I think he was tased. This security guard toilet is about to kill us, but then, as it does, we see the arrow spear being thrown through his head. One thing that caught me off guard, though, was the color of the tip. I thought it was always red, but apparently I was wrong. And this means that it is just blood that was on the spear last time and not just its coloring. Anyways, we see it go through his head and retreat. And then we see the leaked frame we got only a couple hours ago of how it's ISO Toilet and Elite Clockman, my younger brother. But what's weird is we don't see Moby, the mouse, in this frame, because this is what we got in the leaked frame. But anyways, we will see him later, sadly. He says peace because everything is okay now. Then, as we're looking around again, we hear this eerie music coming from a speaker man, and we can see on this file that it says Skibidi Apocalypse. And as we are hearing this sound, it is very eerie, and then something absolutely horrifying happens. Just take a listen. Yes, that was the real sound. And as he looks to his side, we see a gigantic claw rip off his head within no time. And then we look and we see my brother with his claw hand. And ISO Toilet says no spoilers. This could possibly be hinting towards the fact that he doesn't want the Alliance to know the Skibidi Toilet's plan and spoil it. Also, one other thing that I noticed that nobody else seemed to notice was that in episode 8, where we see how they're torturing a skibidi. I'll skip past this just so I don't bore you with the details. I have reason to believe that the Clockman created Elite Clockman because of one main detail. There is a gigantic claw right above this table. If you look very closely, it looks eerily similar to Elite Clockman's claw that he uses to rip off the poor speaker man's head. Even though it seems as if the YouTubers or analysers have created themselves or were created by other YouTubers like Elite Cameraman created Elite Clockman, I think the Clockmen created Elite Clockman because, like I said, this claw is too eerily similar to the one that Elite Clockman has. But then as he heads towards us, his claw, we see how he uses it to behead us, but we aren't fully dead, and we see how Moby gets the Skibidi Apocalypse folder, and we see a similar ability from ISO Toilet, how he uses fire just as my beloved TV woman does, and he burns the file. But Moby must be on a whole nother level, because he can withstand all that heat and not be anything. I mean, look at him. He is fully in that flame, and he isn't reacting at all. And I really do have reason to believe that the YouTubers have some reason for this, because if you look at the video again at your standard, we see how ISO Toilet, he says sorry before he takes our life. If you guys like that video, please be sure to subscribe. It really helps me a lot, and it's my one goal. And if you could, please tell Dom Studios to add me into their videos of episode 16. It would really help me a lot, and I really do wish, it's my one goal in life to be in episode 16 of the multiverse. So can you please spread this message, and I will reward you guys for doing any type of video you want on my other channel. And I will be making another channel in a while, but I'm sorry I haven't been uploading. It's been a very busy week for me. I will be doing episode 14 in a couple minutes here, maybe even an hour. If you guys like the video, like I said, please subscribe, like the video, Discord in the comments. Bye. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.